Alright, this is my craptastic bicycle, my Canadian Tire Special. It's upside down because the bearings in here are, well, the bike is made cheap. So what's inside here are chintzy caged bearings that are probably too dry, that were installed, manufactured, whatever, put in too dry, and they've developed flat spots on some of the balls, I guess, because it clunks. You can't replicate it unless you're riding. But I wiggled it back and forth. Everything's in here is tight. But as soon as you put load on it, as soon as the tire's on the road and you bear down on the pedals, it starts to clunk and bang and thump and make weird noises. So I'm willing to bet that the bearings in here are pretty shot. Now, I did find on Amazon replacement crank. This is a sealed unit. Sealed bearings, made for mountain bikes. And I took all the measurements. Measurements all seem to line up, match up. So the only thing that might be a knuckle duster is the threads here. Well, I hope not, because I have a feeling when I take that other one apart, it's going to be in pieces. See, it's labeled left and right. Got a tool set to install it. This is for pulling the cranks off. That's for a special socket for this stuff here. Wrench that works on both places here. What you do is you thread this. I'll show you in a minute here. But you thread this into the crank. Focus. There we go. Thread that into the crank. Screw this in. And supposedly what it does is it pulls the cranks off without too much fuss. But I tried it at home. But I need heat to and a bigger hammer. I only had a dinky little, hanging pictures up hammer. So I like to get this thing changed out, get rid of that clunk, and maybe this will be a more pleasant thing to ride. Right now it annoys me. Clunk. So we'll see. I'll get this set up here and I'll show you in a minute. Stay tuned. Now, inside there's a bolt. Use this end of the tool, there it is, this end of the tool. Remove that bolt. Use this tool that came with the kit on that hex right there. And you pull that bolt out. And then you thread this part of the puller into the crank handle. You take this thing again, but you want to use this end. This end goes in there. Missed a step. You gotta put the wrench in there first. It's fine thread, so it turn. Sit that in there. Thread that back in there. And what this does is this presses on the end of the crank, the shaft, and in the process of doing that, it pulls on this piece, which pulls the crank handle out. But here's where I need the heat. I need to warm this area here up because it's well attached. It's wedge fit, so a little bit of heat and a big old hammer ought to make a difference. Kind of hard to show you that while I'm filming and film it while I'm doing it. So I'll bring you back when I'm somewhere. Stay tuned. And there you go. A little bit of heat, bigger hammer. You see the shaft is square taper. So it's a little warm. Try not to touch it. But yeah, this tool, handy dandy tool. Unscrew that. Turn and turn and turn and turn and turn. Fine thread. Finer thread, more surface area, better grip. Where grip is important, like here. I half expected that thing to just spring off of there under tension, but no, it didn't. Just came loose. Suppose if I put a little bit of penetrant in back there, it'll work too. And there we go. There's our plunger. The wrench. Yeah, that's going to be nice and tight. That's going to be two-handed to get that sucker out of there. And there we go. Now I just got to get the other one off. Stay tuned. All right, so far, so good. Got the cranks off. Pedals are all right. And now we're left with this. Clean that off a little bit. Now I need to get that apart without totally destroying it. I need to measure the length here. I think it's all the same. They're all pretty well a standard thing, so we'll see. Next step is to get that thing apart without destroying the bearings that are probably already destroyed anyways. We'll see. Well, this looks fine. There's no, it's not galled, it's not pitted, nothing. That shiny spot there is where the bearings ride. These are the bearings. They don't look terrible, but they're chintzy, cheap things, so I mean, they're probably terrible. And there's the adjustable cup. Bearing surface doesn't look galled or otherwise damaged. They stuck that in the middle of the tube there, and for a second, my replacement wouldn't fit in there. Well, that's because they shoved this thing in there. Not sure what it's supposed to do. Maybe to keep water from getting everywhere. I don't know. This is a bear to get off. I think you got to remember with this cup, this is on the right-hand side. It's left-hand thread, which I knew, but I had to weaken it and heat the heck out of it to get it to loosen. But I got it to loosen. There's no using this cup again. It's finished. And well, the surface is galled and pitted because while I was whacking on the thing to get it out. So I mean, this stuff is it's still all right, I guess. Don't know if I trust it. But that's the crank of your bicycle. This goes in the frame tight. Let's see if we can do this here now. This one goes in the frame, tightens right up. This one goes on the other side. And this one's adjustable, so you take out the side-to-side end play. because that unit there is sealed, there's no adjustment in it. So yeah, crank. This one is permanently attached to the. No, this one. No, where's the mangled one? This one. This side is permanently attached to the assembly, and then this one gets threaded in afterwards. You thread that in tight, and this too you thread it in tight. There's no adjustment. All the end plate is all taken out of it already. So you crank that thing down until it bottoms out and holds everything in place. And here you reuse the ring. This is the lock ring that keeps. You turn the center thing there until it's adjusted right, and you tighten it down with this so it doesn't back out. But the judicious application of heat has deformed the cable guide here, but it still works. So it still works. It's good. So there's the assembled crank with its new pieces and parts and things. Now I just got to put everything back together and see if this distance is greater or less than what was there, because it'll put the pedals either further out or closer in. Depends. So it might feel different to ride afterwards, but I imagine it'll get used to, because, oh yeah, that is nice. No crunching, no grinding. There you go. When your cheap parts crap out. This was only $17. I don't know why the manufacturer doesn't just put that in there in the first place. They're cheap. I mean, they're cheap for me. They're going to be cheap for the manufacturers, but whatever. There you have it. Hopefully that solves the problem. We'll see.